Good evening once again, everybody. How y'all doing? Welcome into our second race of the evening, yet another divisional matchup. And again, this one is big, guys and gals. This is going to determine who has got the lead of the NFC North at the end of the night. And again, also who is our number 3 seed in the NFC. So, let me flip this on over, and as you can see, aw, dem gifts. What? I haven't seen that one before. That's freaking awesome. Okay, we found my new favorite GIF. I'm sorry, but that is my new favorite GIF. That freaking one right there. That was way too cool. I never would have thought of that, and that is genius. So, on that note, moving on. There it is again. What? No, on that note, like I was saying, welcome in, guys. On the left side, we got Fullmetalgambit, your Chicago Bears representative. He is right now leading his division. And again, he is taking on for the second time this year, Mr. Deathstar175, your Minnesota Vikings rep. Again, right now, Gambit is 1-0 against Deathstar this season, so he does have that head-to-head tiebreaker. Deathstar going to look to even that up. More importantly, if Deathstar wins this, he takes over the division lead based off of conference record. The tiebreakers really start getting crazy from here, folks. So there's a link to get into both of their channels. Wish them both good luck. They're off and racing. Best of luck, guys. Ooh, good items to start, too. Cupid Zero on the left for piercing shots for Fullmetalgambit. On the right side, we got Harlequin Baby for, you see those V-pattern red tears being shot out on Deathstar's side. Excuse me, what am I saying? That's Rainbow Baby. What the hell's wrong with me? Rainbow me, good God, what is wrong with me today? First thing I see is Harlequin Baby shots, and that's what I think. Wrong. Rainbow Baby gives you random follower tears, and I'm dumb. On that note, we're going to race best 2 out of 3 through the womb, too. So whoever kills off Mom's Heart first is going to get a point at the bottom of the screen. See Gambit ripping through his first boss pin. Excuse me, all you have to do is place one bomb. Very, very well timed. There's those Rainbow Me. Thank you, thank you. On that note, let me give you the list here of the banned items. Again, there are... Boy, I can't spell today. There are 7 banned items on the way down. Nobody's allowed to take Dr. Fetus, Epic Fetus, Ipecac, Dead Sea Scrolls, Holy Bible, Toothpicks, or the Shovel. Technically, Toothpicks you can take. We just put them there so you can reroll them. Only items on that list are allowed to be used with the D6. Anything else, D6 is off limits also, keep in mind. Most glitching in the game is pretty much outlawed. If it only benefits you, it is off limits. If there's any risk involved, we usually let it happen. We'll get to anything if we see it. Deathstar going to show you the timing. Oh, just missed pin. Wow. He moved just slightly too soon, I think is what happened, but Deathstar just missed that timing on the bomb. Oh, excuse me again, sorry about that. Fullmetalgambit was onto his second item room there. Got Book of Shadows. Again, 12 seconds of invincibility. We saw that a few times in the last race as well for Rob Snowlock. And again, speaking of the last race, Wolf21 won our first race of the week by a count of 2-1 over Rob Snowlock. Moved himself into playoff positioning in the 6th overall spot in the NFC. So again, this is going to determine, it gets really scary. A little bit of damage up and, range up that is mismarked on Jesus Juice for Deathstar. He'll be on down to the caves just slightly before Gambit here, who is looking at his boss fight as well. On that note, though, if Deathstar wins, he becomes number 3 seed. Gambit becomes number 6, and it pushes Wolf to the outside looking in. So it gets kind of crazy. If Gambit wins, it stays pretty much exactly like it is now. What's up, Yonkers? How you doing? So we got Bomb Bag on Wolf's, or excuse me, on Wolf's side. Let me try that again on Deathstar's side. This is what happens when you say somebody's name recently. So Deathstar picked up the Bomb Bag. Every few rooms that he clears out, that'll give you 1 or 2 bomb spawns. And again, with that golden key, doesn't even need keys to get into any locked door or chest, for example. He'll be able to get into everything free of charge and just keep building up any key that he does find on this floor. What's up, DC? Good to see you guys. All right, a couple soul hearts for Deathstar, and again, he'll be right on out of that curse room. Gambit himself can move it on along in a Curse of Darkness, both on Caves 1 at the moment, so same floor on both sides. Again, no mini-map for Gambit, so we'll see if he happens across his item room, or boss fight for that matter, pretty quickly here. Again, there's that Book of Shadows, so he is invincible. While that shield is around him, he's just going to let those Gloppins face plant him, and take him out without any worry. Speaking of those, we see a champion version on Deathstar's side. Those have more health, but are guaranteed to drop 1 item when you kill them off. They'll also hit you for a full heart of damage, so you do have to be very careful around them. On that note, Deathstar is still keeping his advantage, moving into his Caves 1 boss fight. Gertie, once again. And tanking Gertie, for that matter. She'll spawn a lot of these little spitters, but nothing, well, and flies, for that matter, but nothing too much to worry about. She will not do those quintuple shots. You just have to watch out for the spawns. If those flies get a little too close, like you saw, they will start shooting at you. Ooh, another skeleton key, though. It would take a challenge room. Gambit's going to go ahead and do it here. And again, here is a glitch that we do allow. You notice Gambit paused just as he picked up the skeleton key, waited till he heard the sounds of all the other enemies spawning into the room, and then unpaused. So this is allowed because notice all the extra enemies in this room right now. That is a big risk, so we allow this to happen. Again, if you can clear it out really quickly, more power to you. But in this case, he didn't really clear out more than, I think, 1 or 2 enemies. Gertie, why won't you die? Thankfully, she is dead. It's all a matter of getting these extra enemies out of the room now. And there you go. You can just faceplant those. A little bit of health up and shot speed increase, believe it or not, with those stem cells for Deathstar. And real quick, he'll grab this other bomb. I was going to say, I was wondering if he knew that was there or not, but I didn't want to make mention in case he was going to hear me. Lo and behold, went back and grabbed that bomb, and he'll be moving on down with this item rock first. Well, at least he had the key to get into it, so gets 1 free key out of it for the next floor, and now Deathstar can get into his item room when he comes across it in the caves too. I guess that worked out decently enough. No bombs again, but we got the key for the item room. We'll take that trade. We'll take that. What's up, Monlight? How you doing? And Coco. Cuckoo. Sorry. It's not Coco. There's no A in that for one thing. Secondly, there's 2 O's. That would be Cuckoo. How you doing? I don't read well. Alright, speaking of item rooms, they're finally showing up in Caves 1 for Fullmetalgambit, and again, with his 99 keys, he doesn't have to worry about key spawns at this point. Unless, as I keep saying, you could get very lucky at this point and wind up with a bombs or key pill, which would turn all those keys into Fullmetalgambit, which I'm sure he would gladly trade out. Bombs are very, very nice. What's up, Flame? How you doing? And J Brown. Good to see you guys. Alright, we got number 1 on Gambit's side, which, as you can see, has turned his tiers a little further south. No, that is not Lemonade. Those are tiers. Yeah, it's number 1. You do the math. But again, gives you pretty much no range on this. Thankfully, Gambit's got that invincibility 12 seconds there with Book of Shadows. He is fighting, excuse me. Sorry, again, no starter running. Either way, we got Headless Horseman about halfway dead already. Gambit's going to wind up with that pony, so he's going to get a charge use off of that, flying ability, and movement speed increase. Ooh, Deathstar into a curse room. Yeah, he will take Guppy's Tail. Only 1 key, so he's going to not force spawn, but Guppy's Tail will make sure that more locked chests spawn at the end of rooms. So a lot less keys are possible now. It's going to be a lot more locked chests, which again, you're going to use more keys on in the first place. But we do have 1 piece of Guppy on Deathstar's side, so he's a third of the way towards being overpowered himself. Again, Gambit going back for those heals. Goodbye, Book of Shadows. Hello, flying ability. He'll be on down to the caves to himself. Ooh, and this worked out well. Free small rock out of that item rock in the middle of the TNT barrel. So plus damage, plus fire rate, and minus movement speed. So again, kind of making that trade-off there. A little bit of extra movement speed out of the horse, though. So Gambit is still technically moving faster than he was at the beginning of at the end of the last floor. Yeah, right at this point, they're kidney stones. That's exactly what that is. Oh, God. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. What's up, Cheap Shot? How you doing? Good to see everybody this evening. Again, we got Envy showing up for Deathstar, so this will be a bit of a time-consuming mini-boss fight. Again, Rainbow Baby will probably help this along. You do have to be careful, though. You don't want to be standing too close when they split, and sometimes that V-pattern shot that you just saw from Harlequin Baby will randomize onto Robo Baby, onto Random Baby. God damn it, Crump, seriously, Rainbow Baby. And you have to be real careful about those splits, because Envy will troll you here. Doing really good, Cheap Shot. Doing really good tonight. Yeah, don't worry, I can never talk, so typing is, believe me, the least of my worries. I can make sense out of whatever gets randomly mistyped. What I say, there's no chance that you're making sense out of half the time, so believe me, you're in the clear. And again, you don't see it anymore, but Gambit does have piercing shots, remember. That was the first item he picked up with Cupid's arrow, so you notice he is firing through all of these buttlickers at the same time. What's up, Sam? Ooh, Horror Babylon, and down low enough on health where that actually might get enacted relatively soon if he isn't careful. Deathstar picked up Horror Babylon there. You notice it turned him into basically a demon monster for the room he was in. If he gets down to half a red heart or less, let's say he turns all those into blue hearts like Guppy's Paw, that would fully enact all the time. That is damage increase. Again, you're a lot bigger in size too, though. But again, a little bit of damage up does help out quite a bit in a lot of situations, so you never know. Maybe he gets Guppy's Paw and that an axe. Otherwise, probably not ever going to see that until the very, very last little bit of health. Speaking of health, you have to take a little bit of damage, but Infestation on Gambit's side, if he gets hit, that's a guaranteed for until the end fly spawn, which again, tier damage multiplier. And homing for that matter. So let's get a real quick judgy please for Gambit as he's got just a couple cents. Hopefully that last penny didn't produce anything. Thanks for the extra key. He didn't have 99 already, judgy. Make that 101, but whatever. Moving on into his boss fight, Gambit gonna look to catch up onto the depths quickly here. Speaking of that, Deathstar has found his item room. No key for it yet, though. And on a Curse of Darkness, you won't see that floor layout. Sorry for that noise. Had to move a fan. Putting on Hollow, already halfway dead for Gambit, and he's just going to finish off the last little bit here. Alright, Cherry Card, one-time use of the Unicorn Horn. Oh my. That Devil Deal. Wow. I was going to say I would take Brimstone because I love it so much. Gambit going to do the same. 2 hearts for Brimstone with number 1 and a small rock. That's going to be some nice damage on this Brimstone. How about the charge time? Not too bad either. Along with flying, that's quite nice. So we'll see how this pays off. That's a nice move. It's a little possibly risky, but I like it. And then we see Brother Bobby going to follow around Deathstar now. So there's his item coming out of depths. Excuse me again. Sorry for the throat clears. So no thanks on the pills. Gambit will just keep moving on along with that Chariot card. It'll come in far handier than the chance at a stat down. Yeah, for those that don't know, I saw that question asked earlier too, like what was my favorite Isaac item? You're looking at it on Gambit's side. I love Brimstone. I adore this item. Ooh, Gambit may not have wanted to pick up that Eternal Heart quite yet. Again, he is on an XL floor here in the depths. So again, I've not mentioned he will find 2 item rooms and 2 back-to-back boss fights. Question of if he wants to find both the item rooms or not. But that could give him a distinct advantage. Yeah, with 6 cents, let's get another judgy please on Gambits. Let's see if we don't get keys this time again. Hey, look, it wasn't a key. That one was. Ooh, also Blastus is taking down Deathstar. Ouch, all the way back to the beginning. Little bit of health up on Gambit's side. Thank you, Judgy, for finally giving him something. Mind you, on his last penny, I'd like to point out. And more keys are spawned. I swear, there's something triggered when you pick up the skeleton key that, like, most of your spawns from then on out are keys. Just when you don't need them, you're gonna get them. New starting item, teleporting remote on Deathstar's side. Again, Gambit holding on with a little bit of protection to that 1/2 an Eternal Heart. If he were to take that to the next floor, that could be his 4th Red Heart container. And again, it is protected at the moment by that 1 blue Soul Heart he has. That was your question? I read your mind, Darth. Yeah. I mean, you got some weird thoughts in your head, sir. You may want to, don't think about that. You know what I mean? Get that looked at. Yeah, that's what I was going for. Totally. Wink, wink. Alright, let's see, teleporting randomly, and mind you, into a store. We got those Otaku teleports going again, though, because Deathstar is right next to his boss fight. It's a pretty small floor. You were going to get close to one or the other special rooms, but still, I'd like to point out, all teleports this year have gone pretty much right next to special rooms, if not into them. And Deathstar going to head right on into his boss fight for Monstro here. Speaking of that, we got Gambit looking at his 2 back-to-back boss fights. We'll see if he skips these 2 item rooms, and I think he's going to. Alright, Devil Card would be time and a half damage multiplier for whatever room that's used in. Chariot Card, a little bit more useful at least. So Gambit going to use that now. He's got Gish, which again, little Gish will be the reward out of this. There you see Chariot Card attaching the Unicorn Horn to Gambit's head. Alright, a little more health up for Deathstar, and again, he'll be on down to the caves too here. Ooh, just missed time in that Brimstone shot was Gambit. Wow. Okay, see what I said about the Otaku teleporting? We call it Otaku porting for a reason. Lo and behold, Deathstar teleports directly into his Caves 1 boss fight. So, fighting the Hollow. Wait for it. I'm betting he skips over his item room at this point because he knows he needs to play catch-up. How about the Magic 8-Ball? Mismarked, that is shot speed increase. Wow, World card as well. Why not? And into a Devil Deal. Ooh, 2 Guppy items. He can only really afford the 1, though. Is he even going to bother? Nope. So Gambit on into his Blue Mom's Foot fight. Deathstar, as you can see, on down to the Caves 2 here, and he's going to head towards this item room because he desperately needs one at this point. And again, Gambit fighting Blue Mom's Foot, so you see all these expansion level enemies like the mini greed heads, these splitting spiders, jumping spiders, those 3 butt lickers, I hate those things. Those will turn on a dime, so will those mini spiders. I detest this fight so much. But doing very well, Gambit just down to the last 15% or so here. I think Deathstar really wants to teleport. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Free entry into the secret room. Nothing too special, but that means free entry into your item room as well. Oh, holy water. So a follower that as you get hit will spill on the ground a circle of holy water. Anything that goes through it will take damage. That'll also mess up your... Gambit with the loading screen. You can tell he may be slightly excited by this. I can't tell. He may be slightly excited. Anyways, loading screen on Gambit's side. He's waiting and hoping that he gets an XL floor out of this. And there it goes as it's popping through. Thank you, Flash. Finally. Ooh, Deathstar with no money cannot buy that heal or the habit out of that store, sadly. And Gambit with no luck himself, just a regular expansion version of the Utero 1 here. So tougher enemy spawns. Possibly tougher boss fight. But all about finding the boss fight. No item rooms, no stores down here. So Gambit just moving on along, hoping to find any sort of sign of a boss fight. Ooh, that timing on picking up the counterfeit penny. I don't know that that was intentional because that made Deathstar take some damage. But as you can see, now anytime that with that counterfeit penny, you pick up a coin of any sort, you get a chance for 1 extra penny attached to it. You will, however, take that soul heart. Thank you. Alright, 2 of clubs to double up the amount of bombs that Gambit's holding on to, so from 6 up to 12. Ooh, Deathstar down to half a heart there, though. As you saw, even flying, you notice the husk took damage going through that holy water. Never really figured out why that's the case, but it does still hit him. Yep, we go to the Womb 2 in the regular season, so whoever kills off Mom's heart first gets a point, and we do a best 2 out of 3. And then in the postseason, ooh, Deathstar down. That's the problem. He was skipping on ahead without a lot of item rooms there, so he had pretty well gimped himself. On that note, Brother Bobby, a little bit of damage up on a follower. Again, base damage on those tiers. See those no shovels? Ooh, that rerolled nicely. Again, you get to reroll any of the banned items this year, shovel being one of them. And this time it turned into the nails, so you get damage up for the room you're in and 1 soul heart increase every time. So again, shovel every 6 rooms will give you a way to immediately move down to the next floor. And in a race situation, yeah, it's cool because, yeah, you do skip item rooms and such, but again, we put everything up for vote, and that was still voted out of the league this year, 17 zip, so... Anyways, going back to what I was saying... Sorry, I was getting cat fur out of my glasses. Going back to what I was saying about the postseason, though. First week we go to Shale, second week we go to Cathedral, and the final 2 weeks, so the conference finals and the finals themselves both go all the way through the chest. Again, each one's going to have different rules, and we're talking each race, basically, is going to have different rules. Whoever's got the home field advantage gets to choose what racer they use and what role to add on. And the other racer will not know until game time exactly what those 2 choices are. So it's definitely going to play into the hands of the person with a better record leading into the playoffs. Alright, Gambit finally coming across this boss fight here in the Womb 1. Had to clear out the entirety of it except for 1 room. But But again, at least he knows where this is at now. Not going to worry about the money because there's really no stores, nothing to worry about spending it on. He's got 11 cents should he come across a judgy bigger. Again, Blast Assist, who we just saw take out Deathstar in mini-boss form, will be the boss fight here. And again, one of the easiest ones you could get. Ah, we actually had that happen, give me 1 second here. What did we put that as a link on? Magic? Aha! There you go. Spat's got the answer to your question there. Alright, moving on down to the room 2 again. Gambit just looking for one more boss fight here and looking to take himself a 1-0 lead. Again, might as well see those... well, there you see the no crown, mind you. I was going to say, we'll see our yes crowns and no crowns show up because Gambit just doesn't need the money, mind you. Yeah, any glitching that basically only benefits you is outlawed. Oh, and the other thing that I saw misquoted 2 days ago, was it, or yesterday? I can't even remember now. Yes, you can do that same glitch with Shoop to Whoop, and we'll show you that next week. Again, we'll do an Isaac myth busting during our charity marathon next week. So basically, if you guys have any sort of, you know, like, okay, what is this? Or what happens when you combine this item and this? If you have any type of those questions, start writing them down and remember them for next week. Feel free to ask them and we will find out those answers for you. That's going to be the entire point of it, is people want to know stuff, you know, like, okay, what happens if you get, you know, this item and then you pick up this one? Does it half your damage or, you know, quarter your damage or whatever the case might be? We'll find all those answers for you. Again, I'll let you know, give or take about Wednesday, we're going to have the BOILeR.org site updated for the charity marathon itself. And we'll have a lot more information up there as far as the donation incentives and all sorts of good stuff with that, and who's casting when, what we're going to do, when that myth-busting show will be. We'll have all that info for you about Wednesday or so. And yep, racers can pick, whoever's got the home field advantage can pick whatever racer they want for their race. How's up, Vault? How you doing? Alright, so again, making up some good time here. There's that boss fight on Deathstar's side. Still no item room showing its face. Again, with 2 keys, maybe you try that room up to the top there just to find out. Deathstar may have to make up that time again, though. Again, Guardian Angel double speed orbital floating around and blocking shots. And he is going to head right on into Gertie here, which you kind of have to. Again, he's looking to make up some time just to be on the safe side. That world card will definitely help. Gambit's going to head directly down to the south here. This room and 2 more to clear. He'll be at his mom's foot, or mom's heart, excuse me. Awesome, good to see you, Volt. Yep, we got a ton of stuff to give away. There'll be all sorts of things. You'll be surprised by some of the donation incentives. I'm still calling a taco out. There was one written down that says, blend a Happy Meal and drink it. And I know who wrote it, a taco. Well, I know who said it. I don't know who wrote it, but, you know, I'm just going to put you on spot. Just saying. So, I know a little bit of health up for Deathstar. We'll be on down to the caves, too. But moving into that mom's heart fight, looking for a 1-0 lead is Fullmetalgambit. Again, he'll take out those first set enemies, drop some bombs, and he is holding on to an Empress card, so we'll see if and when he uses this here. And there you go. That'll Horror Babylon activate on Fullmetalgambit. You notice his Brimstone now much larger in size is actually doing more damage as well. And again, he is melting on through already past the 50% mark on Mom's Heart. And Deathstar just looking to play as quick a catch-up as he can. Maybe too little too late, though. And Livs will stay out the rest of the time. Looks like 1 or 2 more shots for Gambit here. Indeed, 1 more. And there you see that light on the way down. And a 1-0 lead on the left side for your Chicago Bears, Mr. Fullmetalgambit. Very nicely done, sir. So looking to maintain his lead on the NFC North, Mr. Fullmetalgambit leads 1-0. There you see, we're going to get some resets of brewing as, wow, actually, Deathstar just bombed himself on accident. Whoopsie. On that note, though, we're going to get them both reset. Let me give you a link into both of their channels. Go tell them both great race and wish them both good luck in round number 2. Deathstar going to need the win. And Gambit going to look for one himself to win it outright 2-0. We'll be right back in a couple minutes, though. Hang tight. And like I said, go meet our racers in the meantime. We'll be right back with you in about 2 minutes and get round number 2 underway. Alright, we're back and we should be clear for round number 2 here. Oh yeah, break it down now. Chill me boy. Oh yeah, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sorry, but that is just freaking entertaining as all hell to watch. What is it about Jell-O? Seriously, what is it about Jell-O? There's always room for it, isn't there, kids? I mean, seriously? No, on that note, we're back for round number 2. As you can see, we got Fullmetalgambit on the left side, leading 1-0. Yeah, we need a link to this Death Star, by the way. After the race, we need a link, dude. We seriously need a link to that thing. On that note, though, like I said, 1-0 lead for Fullmetalgambit on the left side. He'll be looking to win 2-0. Death Star on the right side, gonna look to tie this up in 1 apiece, force Pitbull game number 3, and look to take over the lead of the NFC North if he can do so. So again, this is all important to see who's got the number 3 seed, and for that matter, the rest of the playoff picture for that matter. Either if Death Star wins the next 2, he knocks Wolf out of playoff contention for the time being. If not, it stays exactly like it looks as we speak. So Gambit off to a good start here. He's got growth hormones. That's going to be damage and speed increase to start the floor off, and immediately onto his boss fight. And Duke of Flies ought to be absolutely no problem with that damage increase. It hasn't even been released yet. Why would it be free? On the note, risky Brimstone to start off with here. So Deathstar going to spend 2 of his hearts to get Brimstone and take himself down to just 1 red heart. But again, great item, so this could get fun. Again, Gambit on down to his 2nd floor, little health up on his side. Though again, you see why this gets interesting. Half a heart now on Deathstars. But in that item room, Spelunker's helmet, I should say, to be able to tell where your secret rooms are. You notice his just appearing on the minimap. And heading on in, no way to gamble or blow that up, so we're staying at half a heart, heading on it. I take that back, there is a heart on the left side. Aha, we can heal, never mind. And again, Gambit coming across his boss fight before item room here. And before raw liver, if only Deathstar were that lucky. Alright, Pin ought to be a very easy boss. There you see just about 50% of the health disappearing. There you see the rest of it. What would be shot speed increase, that is not a tier rate increase with Magic 8 Ball. So very useless item there for Deathstar on down to the 2nd floor, though he does get an Emperor card. Again, direct teleport, saving the entire waste of time on a floor into your boss fight. And that poop, not so carry of an item. Gambit gonna leave that behind for now. Not a shocker. Again, you would lay a lump of poop on the ground and be able to put it out if you wanted to, in hopes of getting an item out of it. You really don't tend to get much. It's about a 95% fail rate. But moving right on into the Widow fight, you can see you can actually stand still, believe it or not, until those spiders start spawning. Again, Deathstar finding his item room here. Speaking of growth hormones, damage up and speed increase for Deathstar, more speed increase with the goat hoof, so he's gotten +3 speed in the past 2 rooms now. And again, a little more damage on that Brimstone is only going to help him. Got a God Room and the box of items for Gambit, 1 of everything. Samson's Lock, a random chance of getting Bloodlust on every kill. And Guardian Angel for double speed orbital floating around blocking shots on Gambit's side. Yeah, 2 growth hormones, like, wow. Yeah, can't spell poop without OP. So Gambit gonna buy everything in that store except for the Steam sale, which would have given him half off on every item from then on out. We got Deathstar picking up even more damage as now Little Steve is following him with homing tears. See those purple shots? Again, those are base damage, but hey, it's damage. Wiggle Worm, believe that will actually give you a fire rate increase, so that's gonna drop the charge time, and indeed it does. Drops the charge time on Brimstone. And Deathstar just going to say the hell with it, pop his Emperor card. He had a long way to go there, so not a half bad move, honestly. And right on into his little Chad, or into his Chad fight, I should say, which will give him little Chad at the end of it. So now every couple of rooms Deathstar clears out is going to be guaranteed half a red heart to spawn. Going on into a devil deal. Why would you do that to yourself? He couldn't take the one on the left. It turned into the Pact. He couldn't even really worry about taking the shovel that re-rolled into, I didn't even see what it was, honestly, but he couldn't afford it anyway, so it was kind of moot point. But ouch, let's see those no shovels, as that was outlawed, and you can re-roll your outlawed items. Deathstar tried, hoping to get something out of there that he could have bought, but no such luck. everything would have flat out killed him in that situation. So leaving it all behind, keeping his 2 hearts, Deathstar finding his Caves 2 boss fight already. Speaking of Caves 1 and 2 on Gambit's side on the left, he's got an XL floor, so 2 back-to-back boss fights and 2 item rooms somewhere. More movement speed for Deathstar, so I believe we have like +5 movement speed on his. Yeah, he is just cruising. Oh god, that is dangerous speed. Ah, turn into BOILeR, that's what it was. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, with that damage up that Deathstar's got, he's gonna basically 1 and 2 hit a lot of boss fights here. Alright, 1 more soul heart, a little bit more breathing room for Deathstar. Again, Gambit still just looking for anything down here in his caves floor, so 2 floor advantage at the moment on Deathstar's side on the right. And again, there's that item room already showing up here in, again, a Curse of Darkness for Deathstar, so you'll never see his mini-map. Yeah, they've gone to Plaid. Sir, it's Deathstar175. He's gone to Plaid. Ooh, that Forgive Me Now pill. That's actually kind of interesting. I may have considered that. I may have just dropped into that curse room there and popped the Forgive Me Now, but again, right next to his boss fight, would have reset the entire floor and gotten rid of Deathstar's D6, and you don't want to waste that much more time. Again, though, no good item coming off of the floor. Deathstar will move right on into his boss fight. Speaking of items, we got Gambit finding his first of 2. And we got War showing up, so again, first of the Horsemen not showing up until the depths here in this battle. But we'll wind up with a cube of meat off of War on Deathstar's side to orbit around him and block shots at only half the speed of the one that Gambit has, that Guardian Angel. Again, very useful though. Anything you're walking into will also take damage. I'm not knocking it, it just moves at half the speed is all I'm saying. Speaking of boss fights, back-to-backers here coming up for Gambit. He may be skipping over one of his item rooms as he would have a lot of backtracking to do. Alright, and another devil deal. Do you bother with it? Ooh, that's why. I think Death's really hoping to find himself that lump of coal, honestly. But again, gonna move on down without buying anything out of his devil deal into the depths 2 as Deathstar. And again, we got Chad just about getting to the halfway mark on Gambit's side. Excuse me, so another little Chad about to show up here. Which again, every couple of rooms that you clear out will spawn half a red soul, or half a red heart for you. That's not a soul heart. Ooh, Deathstar down to half a red himself at the moment, so he's going to have to be very careful in this room. Ah, make that full health again. Thank you, little Chad. That's where he comes in handy, folks. Ooh, is Gambit going to go back for his other item room? I believe he is. I believe Gambit is possibly... He may just want that strength card, though. Yep. That answers that question. Gambit just wanted a strength card back. So that'll be +1 to all stats for Gambit, whatever room he uses it in, but he knew full well that might as well go and grab it now. And he'll be on to his second straight boss fight again, which is Gertie. So probably going to skip that item room. He would have gone back for it right then if he were going to. What's up, Callie? How you doing, man? In the spirit of the high... Aww. It had to be left behind by Deathstar. He couldn't afford it, sadly, but he would have gladly taken flying. Believe me, Deathstar would have loved to have that flying. That arcade may not be a half-bad find either. If Deathstar can get out of that corner, oh god, this is a bad room. This is a real bad room at the moment for Deathstar. There we go, nice chain reaction. He needed that. Uh-oh. Oh god, so close. Wow, that dodge. Nicely done, Deathstar. Wow, dude. Whew. That was a little too close for comfort. He's not going to bother with the arcade. Wow. I would have headed straight into that arcade and prayed to God for a purple slot machine. That was a great dodge on Deathstar's side. Ooh, how about a pact for Fullmetalgambit, so he'll gladly skip his item room now. Fire rate increase, damage up, and he replaces the 2 red hearts he spent with blue soul hearts. Believe you hit the wrong window there again. There you go. Yeah, he got by the cube. There's no question. Don't misunderstand me. That orbital blocked a shot for Deathstar that saved his ass. I'm not even going to lie about that. It did. And that's the beautiful thing about orbitals. They will save your butt sometimes. Again, 1 soul heart. Deathstar can breathe slightly easier. It's Curse of the Lost, not Labyrinth. The cat had nothing to do with it. And again, we're going to move on along here. So Curse of the Lost adds 4 to 6 rooms to your floor. Woo, that almost got a little too close. There you see the one problem with exploding fistulas sometimes. Also, I'll explain the same problem there with Best Friend Bomb. That can kill you sometimes. We've seen it glitch out and kill one of our racers this year. On that note of bombs, Gambit used one very nicely. Well, kind of not his, but beside the point, got Small Rock out of it. So again, damage up, fire rate increase, and he'll move a little bit slower. But notice his tears now. Yeah, worst friend. Definitely not best. Alright, Hangman will allow Deathstar to fly for the remainder of this mom's foot fight. And again, already about 25% of the way through. You see, he's just going to hang out over some rocks. Anytime he sees the shadow, he's just going to bolt right on out of there. But again, down to just the one red heart. If Mom hits him, it's over. If any of the other mobs hit him, he's still got a chance. And again, War for the second time, champion version of it for Gambit for that matter. And you notice as he goes by, he leaves troll bombs in his wake. As he jumps off the top of the screen, you get even worse troll bombs. They home in. But again, that Death Guard time and a half damage multiplier on top of what Gambit already had. So he's got nice damaging tiers. And there you see War already off of his horse, so much less of a threat at this point. Yep, both of them have growth hormones. I have the hardest time saying that word. I have no idea why. Either way, though, they both actually have it. I believe in the first couple floors they both got it. Ooh, and speaking of damage, Gambit finding himself Krampus, so guaranteed lump of coal as his shots go further away will grow in size and damage output. Again, Deathstar just about done with this mom's foot fight. Waiting for the shadow of the foot. There we go. Kill the foot off and you're guaranteed not to take the hit from her, which he could not afford. Range up is completely moot point for him. Technically speaking, so is that Polaroid, so he's going to leave it on behind, just take his movement speed with the goat hoof. And he's going to hope for the best down here in the womb. Again, Gambit on down to his depths too, so again, one more item room to find and then his mom's foot fight. What's up, Shadow? And Fate, how you two doing? Yep, there hasn't been a single health up yet on Deathstar's side. He spent 2 of his hearts on the first floor, got Brimstone, hasn't seen a single health up since. That's how crazy, just wrong this build has been. Alright, let's see, where are we gonna find? He was hoping for a soul heart out of that. Deathstar needs 1 soul heart, just something. Let's get a quick judgy, please, for Gambit on the left side. We'll take the extra bombs, absolutely. Oh, jeez, really? Alright, the notch pickaxe. Don't even bother. That would basically allow you to crush 1 rock per room. You heard the entire effectiveness of that entire item. That's all there is to it. It sucks. So Gambit's going to leave that behind. That D6, even though it isn't doing anything for him, is actually almost still more useful. Alright, and again, Deathstar can't afford to take any hits down here, and I was going to say he got himself trapped in a pretty crappy corner on that side. So back to the start for Deathstar, and that leaves Gambit well in the lead with a damn nice build. It's a matter of those 5 hearts being enough to last him. What's up, Terraform? How you doing? Excuse me again. Yeah, I'm firing my lasers. Alright, Kamikaze again. This has killed all but 2 of our racers off during their runs this year. On runs that got completed, I should say. Well, duh. That doesn't sound right either. On runs where the person either had it, like the entirety of it, it's only been completed twice this year. Other than that, it has killed every single racer that has held onto it. You can do the Kamikaze glitch where you hug a wall and don't take damage. But again, it's been risky and it has cost a lot of our racers. Alright, Red Mom on Gambit's side. You'll see her stomp her foot down, or in this case, because Gambit's going to stand right by the door, she's going to stomp her arm out pretty much endlessly here. Every now and then you'll see that triple shot out of her eyeballs. Kamikaze can be very, very useful, honestly. If you're hugging the wall just the right way, you will never take damage with it, and that is very helpful. So let's see, we got Samson's Lock going to go with Gambit. Again, random chance at Bloodlust and damage up on his tiers. As he kills enemies, he's going to take, that 1/2 an Eternal Heart turned into his 4th red health container. So still sitting at 4.5 hearts here, on down to his Womb 1. Again, possibly just 2 more floors to go here, and possibly looking to not completely wrap up the NFC North, but if he's got the 2-0 lead on his closest competitor and a 2-game advantage, it's getting there. It's getting there very quickly for him at that point. And again, that would very well put him into a nice spot to hold on to that 3rd seed in the NFC playoff picture as well. So Gambit and Deathstar both have a lot riding on this game. There you see Duke of Flies being taken out by Kamikaze. A little bit of fire rate increase with the wire code hanger. Deathstar will be moving on down to his caves. And in this case, the expansion version, Catacombs. And Gambit down to just his 4 hearts. Oh, jeez. Gertie Jr., and not only that, but Champion Gertie Jr. Run away. Ooh, down again. Ouch. Alright, bomb bag on Deathstar's side. Every couple of rooms he clears out, I'll spawn a bomb or 2 for him. Wow, still no boss fight showing its face for Gambit, so he's going to have to keep digging around here. I'm sure that's going to be in about 1 or 2 more rooms over on the right, though. Pretty much has to be in this direction. VR. Ooh, maybe not. How about that dead end? Well, I jinxed Gambit. How about that commentator curse? I'm shutting up now. So he's going to bomb right back out of here. And again, where is this boss fight going to be? Even at this point, don't be Conquest. Ooh, Monstro taking down Deathstar on the right. Oh, much better. And again, Kamikaze. Not a pro. Alright, let's see. Random pills. Gambit will hold on to those for a minute or 2. Aha! Boss fight. About dang time. See? I told you. It was to the other right. You know. The other right. Ooh, Teratoma. Gambit's been lucky. He's gotten Blastocyst last time and now got Teratoma for his Womb 1 boss fights. Yeah, Conquest, or as I call him, I'm dead. I hate that fight, honestly. Unless I have a really good build, I despise Conquest fight. On that note, I get to say it for the first time. Everybody, to Famine if you would, because he's cool enough to say it to us every time he rolls off the screen like that. And there you see quite a few of them. Finally, we get to say it. A little bit of health up for Gambit on down to the Womb 2. So again, 5 red hearts now for him. We're going to get 1 cube of meat for Deathstar to float around orbiting him. And same thing that you see on Gambit's side. But finally, only took, let's see, 5 entire runs at this point to have Famine show his face for the first time. Having a week off there, Famine? Getting a little tired after the last couple weeks? My voice says thank you, mind you, but what, you getting a little tired? Yeah, need a vacation. Famine need a vacation. You want to go to PAX, Famine? It's next week. You can go. I don't know. We got Forever Alone Attack Fly for Deathstar. That's going to orbit around anything that he walks that into. Will take quite a good clip of damage for the amount of time it stays in there. Yeah, Famine's got a family as well. You don't love us anymore, Famine. Okay, honey. I'll come home early tomorrow. You just hear him all like depressed as you go, hey, I'm home. Of course, that sounded more like Eeyore than Famine at that point, but yeah, I think we get the idea. Alright, Gambit, not exactly internal compassing it, but damn close to it. Gets up right on over to his mom's heart fight again. So clearing out that last enemy, 8 bombs, 5 full hearts, and he's got that random pill in hopes that just in case he gets down low enough on health, that may become a full health pill on him. But we'll see what happens if we even do get that far with it. 6 bombs left to go after that one. Already good 10% of the way on through, looking for that 2-0 win, and a lot of security in the NFC North here. David Hayter on a hangover. What's up, something? How you doing? So again, working on about the 20-25% mark. 1 more bomb in the middle, and again, 4 more to go for Gambit here. That's the spawn you really want to worry about, is getting rid of those knights. Those are the most annoying things on the face of the earth. But on that note, Lives will stay out the rest of the time. You just got to worry about clearing out of the way of those splitting shots. And already down to the point where it's looking like it might be a little too late. That NFC North looking like it is in the hands of Fullmetalgambit here. Ooh, and Deathstar down again, actually. Almost. Did you get pushed into a heart machine? Oh, God. Oh, that was brutal. On that note, though, 2-0 win as Fullmetalgambit has taken out Mom's heart. Did he really